Apparently, bastards is where we draw the line. We are just one episode away from the finale, and Rhaenyra is finally getting the upper hand. So let's talk about it. Spoilers if you aren't up to date with House of the Dragon. Damon finally got some stuff to do at Harrenhal, and is by far the most that I've enjoyed his scenes. Damon is so used to grooming children, and it was nice to finally see one get the upper hand. He underestimated the sweet Tullys with the Sesame Street names. Glad that he finally got what he was supposed to be there for, which was an army in the Riverlands. My favorite part had to be watching my boys Strong reacting to the tea. I was so relieved that they didn't drag out this confrontation between Rhaenyra and Alan. Alan is ambitious, but like he said, he didn't choose to be a dragon rider. He clearly has a good moral compass. I think it was easy for him to make the decision though, because the father that he wants to get close to is on her council. Corlys's face when she was like, yeah, it was Alan of Hull, was hilarious. I need to know the motivations behind Corlys capping. More importantly, I wondered why Corlys didn't consider if he could have been a dragon rider this entire time, because I'm sure he and other Valyrians just never tried. Looks like our girl is finally getting her dragon. I don't know why Alicent had scenes this episode. Get it, Olivia Cooke is beautiful and a great actress, but I feel like we could have used this time doing something else, anything. I love seeing Larys so desperate, so thirsty to get Aegon back on his seat that he is terrorizing him to the point where he may die from his injuries because things are not going his way. If I was Aegon, I would have used the last bit of my strength to kick this man out. Me walking around my room 2 days post-op because you don't like the vibes. I know ultimately Aegon does need to recover fast for his own sake, but let's be true. Larys is only doing this because he wants something. I'm tired of these men talking to Rhaenyra spicy. Jace was justifiably upset with his mother because what is she doing right now? She's not attending meetings. She's out here kissing her husband's ex. Now she's extending the invite to their dragons to everyone. But I'm glad someone she actually respected finally pressed her for having an affair with Harwin Strong. Many times, white women with privilege have children with people who look different than them and have different experiences. They don't consider how that's going to affect their child's life. But a lot of people do, just like Rhaenyra, is they choose to ignore it. And I'm glad that Jace was like, we can't. Even if they win the war, when she dies, they're going to challenge him as well. Because it's not actually been publicly said that they are bastards so that they can be legitimatized. It's clear that what's missing from Rhaenyra's council is someone that's like middle class. Because right now, Rhaenyra is getting advice either from very rich people or an ex-convict. It's making all of her decisions erratic. Miss Arya did have a lot of great points about them actually going to look up some bastards. But Rhaenyra is also right. Those bastards just want to be fed. What loyalty do they have to her house, especially after she gives them a dragon? There are actual repercussions, or at least there's supposed to be, when a lord goes back on their word. There's nothing binding the common folk. The fact that Corlys was too embarrassed to claim his bastards is gonna bite them in the butt. Yes, Alan was a commoner, but he's connected to the family and he has stake in the game too. These other bleached blonde big back hoes have no loyalty towards Rhaenyra. They just wanted a way out. Dragon Keepers were being all stushed like they too are not also commoners. Like the blue collar workers mad that more blue collar workers are joining them. I get it, being a Dragon Keeper is closer to being in a religious cult than it is to having a job. And I think a piece of it, just like with Jace, is the fact that when you open up dragons to regular people, it takes away their leverage. What makes them special anymore? So I think he knew that if they stuck around, he would have lost a lot of keepers. Quiet as kept, Rhaenyra was a way better keeper than that whole group. And to sing all these hymns and everything to get Sea Smoke to pull up, all Rhaenyra had to say was, hey, wake up, we got company. And then touched him. Like, let's be real. This is the reason why I don't like how many people disrespect Rhaenyra, because at the end of the day, she is that girl. I will say this, in the eyes of Rhaenyra and her council, yes, they lost a lot of commoners, but at the end of the day, they got 2 dragon riders out of it. And Vermithor is a huge dragon for the lives of 20 people who willingly went in knowing they may die. Crispy and Aemon sacrificed hundreds of soldiers and lost a dragon. I'm so glad that Hugh confirmed that his mother is Sarah. In the books, Sarah Targaryen runs away because Jaehaerys tries to put her in a convent because she out there popping her pussy. I just feel like a lot of people don't discuss how the Dance of the Dragons was honestly sparked by Jaehaerys and not with the blacks and the greens. He was a raging misogynist who wouldn't let our queen Rhaenyra on the throne, who was furious that his daughter was having sex. And now guess what? His daughter's bastard is riding his dragon Good for him. Hope his crusty ass skeleton is rolling in its grave. Now he got maggots in his eyes. That being said, there gotta be a little bit of resentment from Hugh Cammer, who knows about the Targaryens, who knows who his family is, who had to sit on the outside in a whorehouse because his mother didn't feel safe there. God knows where his loyalties is gonna lie as this war continues. I really enjoyed all the scenes with Ulf, and I was glad that he paired with Silverwing, all because his boys encouraged him. I will say it got me a little tight that he got his first fight scene when we didn't get one from Alan the episode before. That being said, the scene was incredible and filled with magic. And I love they got to taunt Aemon and his dusty ass dragon. Best part about Rhaenyra getting the upper hand is a big part of it is that Larys was so focused on Aegon. He told him the secret and he couldn't believe that she would do something like that. Obviously, Green doesn't have access to the dragons, but all of the bastards that she got came from King's Landing. All the Master of Whisperers didn't know. King Green is just so terrible at their jobs. I really enjoyed this episode. I'm hoping that in the finale, we get Rhaenyra finally going back to King's Landing and taking what's hers, or at least a death from Crispy Cole. I cannot look at him anymore. This is by far one of the most cinematic episodes we've seen this season. I give it 4 out of 5 Frankie Flames.